What if you could search your entire Excel table and it highlights the results instantly? Let me show you how. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a live search box in Microsoft Excel using just conditional formatting. No macros, no VBA, no complicated setup. Let's go. So here I have a simple employee sales table with columns for employee name, item, quantity, rate, and amount. And up here in cell H3, I have created a search box, just a labeled cell where I'll type my search term. Now, to make the highlighting work, we need to select our data. Everything except the header row, just the data rows. With that selected, go to Home tab, Conditional Formatting, New Row. In the dialog, choose the last option, Use a Formula. This is where the magic happens. I'm going to type in the formula here and I'll explain every part of it right now. Here's the formula we are using. Looks complicated? Don't worry, I'll break it down in plain English. So first, the AND. The AND function is like a gatekeeper. It only gives a green light or true when all the conditions inside are true. We have two conditions and both must pass for a row to get highlighted. So this moves us to part 2, the $H, $3 and these signs. This checks is the search box empty. These symbols means not equal to and the two quotation means empty. So this says only do anything if the user has actually typed something in H3. This prevents the formula from highlighting everything when nothing is searched. Now, you might be wondering, what are all these dollar signs? Well, let's talk about them. In Excel, when a formula gets applied across multiple rows, Excel automatically adjusts the cell references as it moves down. That's very useful, but sometimes you need a cell to stay fixed. That's why the dollar sign does. It's called an absolute reference. A dollar sign before the letter locks the column. A dollar sign before the number locks the row, and two dollar signs lock both. So $H, $3 means fully locked. This is our search box. No matter which row the formula is checking, we always want to look at H3. So we lock both column H and row 3. Without this, Excel would shift it to H4, H5, and the formula would break. And $B3, $C3, $D3, this locks columns. So the row moves. We lock only the column, not the row number, and that's intentional. We always want column B, C, D, but as Excel moves down row by row, the row number updates automatically. Think of it like the column is a fixed lane on the road, and the row number is the car moving down. The dollar keeps the lane fixed while the car moves freely. Now, coming back to the formula, then is the search with $H, $3, $B3, C3, etc. So this is the core of the formula. The search function looks for the text that we'll type in H3 inside the combined text of the entire row. And the AND symbols, you can see, they join all the cells in that row together into one long string. So instead of searching one column at a time, we are searching the whole row at once. If it finds the search item, it returns a number, the position where it found it. And then the is number. Here's the clever bit. If search finds a match, it returns a number. Is number gives true, then the row gets highlighted. If search doesn't find it, it gives an error and you won't find any highlight. So is number cleanly converts the result into a simple yes or no. So if we put everything all together, if the search box is not empty and the search item exists anywhere in this row, highlight it. Now, after entering the formula, click the Format button, go to the Fill tab, and we'll choose green color. Click OK. Now, let's test it. I'll type RAM in the search box, and there you go. Every row that contains RAM is instantly highlighted in green. Let me try LED. Works perfectly. Change it to Sharma, and it finds all rows with Sharma across any column. One search box, entire table, live results. And that's it. No macros, no scripts, just a smart formula inside conditional formatting. If you find this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more Excel tips like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.